All right, what's going on, guys? We're the Erie Better Beer Bureau, back at you with another bitter review. I'm Mark.
And I'm Maury. Today, Brian was nice enough to put up one from Draai Laag, or Draai Laag, or however you say it, from Pittsburgh. Kind of hard to pronounce if you want to try to look at the spelling there. But this is their Port of Sour. It's a port barrel-aged sour that weighs in at 8.2%. These guys really don't do anything other than different sour beers and saisons and things like that that are barrel-aged. That's all they do. And we've had a few of them, and some of them have been pretty good. So we'll get into this one, and we'll let you know what we think about it. Kind of some
tart.
Yeah, and you can almost smell the port. You know what I mean?
It's getting almost a fruity, like almost like cherries and stuff like that.
Yeah,
from the
cherry,
port.
a little bit of a grape kind of wine-like aroma. Hint of like a very subtle, like red wine vinegar.
Vinegar, I was thinking vinegar,
Yep. But it's not, it doesn't seem too acidic. That first whiff, kind of like the first sip, is always the most powerful. But now that I'm kind of settling into the aroma.
Yeah, at first it was quite a bit of
tartness.
tartness.
In the face, yes.
And now it's getting a little more subtle, and the fruit aromas, of course, not really any fruit in there, but yeah,
the fruit like
coming
aromas,
out.
Yeah, the port. Maybe a little bit of oak. I'm not getting a ton, but just maybe a little bit. Cheers. Yeah, it's balanced. There's a nice, there's a nice sweetness, and then that tartness kind of comes in, and then the wood aging on the back end.
And the port too. That lingers right in the mid palate. Get that nice port taste. It is nicely carbonated. I mean, it poured out and it kind of went flat a little bit
after
quick.
It's hanging around the edges of glass now. You swirl it around. It's actually drinking quite nice.
I think I was hoping for a little bit more sour, but being aged with port, I imagine that would knock that down quite a bit from the sweetness. Which, like you say, it's balanced. It's a very nice blend. Real nice, actually.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it could be better balanced. There's sweet, there's tartness, there's a kind of a fruity character, there's a malty character. I don't taste anything in the way of hops, which you wouldn't really expect anyway. But yeah,
it almost has a juicy kind of mouthfeel, but then it finishes kind of dry. Not real dry like puckering or real dry, but it's really
it does
nice
have a dry finish with all that sweetness and the fruit characteristics that come out in the middle. It does finish kind of dry. All right, for the Port of Sour, port barrel-aged sour ale from Draai Laag, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I like it quite a bit. Like Mark said, the head kind of fizzled out, which that did on my last one from these guys too. But then it held up on the glass, even a little bit of lacing. Super balanced. We mentioned that during the review. I think that's the best thing it has going for it. That being said, though, I could use a little more tartness and just a little bit more of the port character as well. It's there. Both of them are there, but they're kind of there balanced with the sweetness and the, oak and everything else. If those things were dialed up just a touch more, I'm not talking a lot, I'd go up even higher, but I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with them. I was going back and forth between 4 and a 4.25. I mean, I really was. Just a little bit more of that tartness would have really elevated this beer. But all the other flavors, again, nicely balanced throughout. Nice, kind of a juicy mouthfeel from the port and the kind of the fruity flavors. Very well made beer. Really like it. Just a couple little picks on it, That's kind of what we do, but it could easily get up to a 4.25. I'm going to have to hold it to a solid 4.
Yeah. So thank you, Brian. Until next time.
Cheers.